Hey, it's Kelly with RV Wholesalers. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough video on this Heritage Glen by Forest River, the LTZ. This is the 356QB. This one does have the rear bunks in the back, nice outside kitchen. Also, it has 2 full baths. Nice thing about it is it does have a separate entry to the second bathroom off the rear of the coach. So pretty nice feature there. You can see this does have the power awning, LED light strip going across the top. Has the 2 exterior speakers with the nice blue accent lights there. Has the exhaust for your stove there. You're gonna have a spot for a TV hookup on the outside, so you can bring the TV from the inside, set it on this bracket right here. Also, you're gonna have your receptacles down there, and your cable hookups on the outside. So if you wanna set a TV out here, watch the game, what have you, you can do that. Right here, you're gonna have the exhaust for the furnace. Now, anytime you kick your furnace on the inside, it's gonna be ducted through the floor. If you wave your hand in front of those vents, a lot of times it'll be blowing cool air. If you're wondering, hey, is it working? Come out here, wave your hand close to that. Don't touch it because it'll be blowing hot air immediately. This does have the new Lippert Steps. All you're gonna do with these is just lift up on the bottom and that'll go right inside. And you can see right here on the sides, it just lifts up. And then there's this little lever right here. After this latches on the back side, then you'll be able to lower it down. Just make sure that the door's all the way open. And they're pretty light aluminum steps, but they're very, very sturdy. So when you go into the coach, you're not gonna have to worry about them rocking and things like that. This does have the magnetic latch, which would have made it easier for the steps there if we would have had it latched. So all you do is stick it there, which is nice because you don't have to worry about kids coming up and ripping it off and breaking that little plastic latch. So the magnetic latch there, same way with the storage door, latches right up there with this magnetic latch. It does have the slam baggage door, so all you do is let it go, automatically closes for you. You can see here, you have the nice big pass-through storage. You can see in here as well all the aluminum structure, aluminum framing. This does have a residential refrigerator, so that's what this inverter right here is for. The power button's there. You can see when you turn it on, the little monitor panel there on the front of it. So that would allow you to, basically your inverter is going to invert 12 volt to 110, so it's going to run your refrigerator off the battery technically. Now right here, you're going to have a battery disconnect. So if you're not using the coach and you got it stored away, you can go ahead and just take this, turn this to the off position and unhook that, and then you're not draining the battery from the LP detector, things like that. All of the lights are LED lights, which don't get hot, don't use a lot of power. There's a little button right in the center of every light, so you can turn it on and off. So you can see that there maybe a little better with the light out. Now this coach will have a spot for 2 batteries. This one here, the one we put on the coach for you, included in our prep, this will run the entire coach. And there's one in the front storage compartment, which you can kind of see the diagram here, the schematic. That one is for the inverter. So if you're ever going to be running your refrigerator off of the battery, you're going to want to make sure you purchase another battery and have it put in the front compartment there and have it hooked up just like this diagram shows you. And this right here is going to be for a Furrion solar panel, like a portable one. A lot of times you can plug those in, set it out in the grass, and that'll trickle charge your battery if you're going to be doing some dry camping. Come around here to the front side, you can see you got the full-size spare there. You have a loading light up here as well, switch right on the bottom, and then the right inside there is the compartment that I was telling you about for the extra battery. Then you can see up here on the nice painted cap here, you can see it does have the 2 LED light strips there. The little switch for that's right inside the storage compartment by the battery disconnect. You're gonna have your leveling jacks here for the front leveling jacks, and that will run off 12 volt as well, so even if you're not plugged in, you can still utilize that as well. In this compartment here, you're going to have your 2 30-pound propane bottles. Step over here on this side, and now you're going to be able to see this has an auto changeover regulator, so you can see whatever side that point is pointing to, that's the tank it's going to pull from first. This eye will be green when you have gas, it'll be red when they're empty. You always want to run both tanks wide open, so whenever you get to where you're camping, just open it up all the way, and this light, or this eye right here, will turn green. And then you just have it pointing to one side or the other, it doesn't matter. And then it's going to pull from this tank first. Once this is empty, you'll come out in the morning, you'll notice that this eye is red, you know that that tank ran out. You didn't lose gas because it automatically pulls from this tank. Then what you'll do is you'll just switch it over, then you can close this bottle, take it off, get it filled up. So essentially you just go back and forth, back and forth. But that regulator just makes sure that you don't actually completely run out of gas. You can see over here you got the big bedroom slide here and the master. You got the living room slide, then your other bunk slide here on the back side there. Come in here, you have your main panel here. So you have outside shower, hot and cold, satellite hookup, park cable. Everything's kind of labeled for you, so it makes it pretty easy. So the black tank flush, what that's going to be is anytime after you've used your wastewater tanks and you're going to rinse out your tanks, and I'll show you that here in a second, you just hook a water hose up to this and then completely rinse them out. City water, what that's going to be is anytime you go to a camp spot and they have actual water hookup at your site, all you're going to do is you screw the water hose right into this. Always make sure you use a pressure regulator, which is going to reduce the PSI down to about 45. And then what that's going to do is it's going to ensure if you're camping in a higher pressure area, it doesn't burst your lines. So if you're using this, you don't run off your tank, freshwater tank that is, and you won't need to use your pump because the water's already pressurized. Now, if they don't have water at the site, when you pull into the campground, there's going to be a little dump station that we should have potable water. Screw the hose into this thing over here, which is the freshwater connection. And what that's going to do is it's going to fill the onboard tank. And then you'll utilize your pump, which is an on-demand pump. Turn that on, that's what pressurizes the taps. It is on demand, so when you shut the faucet off, the pump kicks off. You turn the faucet on, the pump kicks on, so you're not running over there hitting the switch all the time. Makes it pretty easy. Then over here you have the water heater bypass, which is just a nice easy switch for winterization purposes. Put the antifreeze jug right into there, turn the pump on, pumps the antifreeze through. Now we blow the lines out, so if you have questions about that ever, just feel free to give us a call and we can explain that for you. There is a little door here, so you can leave this all closed up, run all your lines up through the bottom. That way you can keep this nice and closed off. You don't have to leave the doors hanging wide open and blowing back and forth. Okay? Now if you look right, see if we can see it here for you. So right over there is going to be your sewer exit, okay? So the first thing you're going to do after you go camping and you go to the dump station after the end of the trip, all the handles that are out or open, you push them in to close them, okay? So they slide in and out real easy. So they're all going to be in when you're camping. You go to the sewer hookup, hook your hose onto the end of that, or on the other end of the hole, and then the first thing you're going to want to do, so the black handle is your toilet, okay, which is your black tank. So the first thing you're going to want to do, after you hook up your sewer hose, pull your black valve, let that run through for about, I don't know, a couple minutes just to make sure it's all ran through there. Then while that's still open, you're going to come up here to the black tank flush and you're going to hook your garden hose up to this. Let that run for about 30 seconds. What that's going to do is it's going to spray inside the black tank, clean all the residue off of the sidewalls of the tank, toilet paper, things like that. Just keeps all your monitor panel and everything functioning properly, okay? Then shut the water off before you close this, because if not, it'll start shooting up the toilet. Then once you shut the water off, you can close that valve. Then you can pull your galley and then your other grays. So grays, your sinks and your shower. With this coach, you have a galley as well. And then there's going to be another sewer hookup in the very back, since this does have 2 bathrooms. You're going to do that one the same way, okay? Then you're going to pull the gray valves, and that'll finish rinsing out your sewer hose and drain your gray tanks. All right, so this coach is a 50 amp service unit, which the power cord's right in there. What you're going to do is hook it in here. Has little threads on the outside. Just thread on the plastic ring there, keeps it tight. And there's also an indicator light here on the very top, which when you're plugged in, if you have power at the post, this will be lit up. A lot of times people say, well, I don't have any power. Am I doing something wrong? Come out here and check that first, because a lot of times there's a breaker on the post or they have a malfunction and you're not getting any power. So always double check that. 50 amp service, so you can operate 2 ACs, washer, dryer, things like that. Out here you're going to have your gas electric DSI water heater. DSI means direct spark ignition, so you're not going to have to come out here like the old days and stick a stick lighter in there to light up your water heater. You flip a button, it turns on. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is the first time camping of the season after you've winterized it, okay? And it's winterized right now. You come out here, pull this pressure release valve so it's straight out, whether you're hooked to city water, running off of your pump and your fresh water, either way, leave that up. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna allow the air to escape out of the tank so it can fill. Once this starts pouring water out, close it, then it's full, then you can go ahead and light it or run it on electric. Now there is a little switch right down here behind this white piece of tape by my finger. There's going to be a switch right there. So that switch is for the electric side of the water heater, 110. And there's the switch on the inside, which is going to run off of the LP gas side. So it is gas electric, both sides, so you can run it either way, okay? You can see here you have your two slide outs on this side. Living room is the big one. The bunk on the opposite door side is the small one in the back. Come around here to the back side, and if you look right underneath here, you're going to see the other sewer connection for the second bath. Okay, then right back here, you're gonna have a black tank flush for your second bath. So it's just gonna work the same way as the front one did. After you pull the black valve, hook the water up to this while the valve's still open, let that rinse outside the tank, and then shut the water off, close the black valve, pull the gray valve, finish rinsing out your hose. Steps in the back, you can have the entry to the back. Backup camera on this one, they all come prepped. This one does have the camera. You're gonna have a grill here which swings out so you can have it right beside your outside kitchen, which is right over here. You have a ladder for roof maintenance. You can get up there, walk around. It is a full walkable roof. Right here you're gonna have your electric rear stabilizer jacks. All you're gonna do is hit the extend retract. So just hold down the button. Now these jacks are just for stabilizing the coach. So they're not for changing tires or leveling the coach. You're gonna level with blocks underneath the wheels on both sides. Level front to back with the jacks in the front, okay? That's just for stabilizing the coach. Over here you can see you have your nice outside kitchen. It does have a outside sink as well, which is plumbed right into the holding tanks. Plenty of cabinetry out here as well. LED lights again. You're gonna have a little dorm fridge. Now this refrigerator will run off just electric, so you can see that. Also has a nice top out here, so if it gets wet, it's not going to warp or anything like that. You can see over here, you're going to have, I'm looking for the drain valve. So if you look right over there in front of the front axle, you're going to see that white little valve. That's going to be the drain for your freshwater tank. So after you're done using it, if you don't want to travel with all that extra water weight in the coach, just flip that valve and it'll drain it out for you. We'll go inside and check it out in there. All right. So you can see here you do have the TV with the stereo above. This is going to be Bluetooth. Just turn it on. You can set it for inside, outside speakers, zone 1 and 2. Pretty self-explanatory. You're going to have your TV below, fireplace below that. Now that fireplace will produce some heat, or you can have it just for looks. You got to be plugged in. Power button here, then all the buttons are right up here on the top. So if you want to turn it on, run it just for heat, you can do that, or for looks. Now right down here, if you look, you're going to see this little button right here beside my finger. If I push it in, you can see the light. That's going to be your TV antenna booster. So anytime you're running off just the TV antenna, just use that to amplify the signal strength. Refrigerator here, you always just want to make sure this little lock's in here. So just unscrew that. That's going to keep it from flying open during transit. Excuse me. Freezer on top. Refrigerator on the bottom, controls in there, pretty self-explanatory. Now again, if you want to run it off of the battery, you can do that. You just have to make sure you turn the inverter on and make sure you purchase another battery for that front compartment. Just get this in there since it's, make sure we don't have any accidents. You can see this one does have the stainless steel appliance package, all the fronts on the appliances there. So the first thing you're going to want to do after you get to the campground, turn both your propane bottles on like I said. Come here to your cooktop, turn all these 3 burners on high, use your sparkler knob, to light that. A little extra gas in there from when we were testing the system. You're gonna let that burn for about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, what that's gonna do is it's gonna purge the gas lines, and it's gonna get all the air pockets out of the line. So when you go to light your water heater, your furnace, things like that, on gas, they'll actually function properly. Okay, it does have the glass cooktop cover here. Nice flush mount, so if you want to use this as storage as well, you can do that. Anytime you're burning your stove, run your exhaust fan as well. Microwave, just like your one at home, has a one basin sink here with the cutting board that sits on top. It's a nice residential pull-out sprayer. You can move that, spray around. Nice feature there as well. Solid surface countertops. Okay, over here you can see you have your dinette. Have two legs, you just set those in, raise the table up, always travel with it in the down position, pull the cushions off the back, and then you can use those to make this into a bed. This over here will make into a bed as well. All you're gonna do is just pull the back cushions off, and it just flips all the way out. So you just pull these off, set them off to the side, then it all just flips out like a trifold. Has the nice residential shades, you can see that. Pull those down there. Has a tinted safety glass on the outside. Come right up here, you're gonna see kind of this is where your control panel is. Now this one does have the remote, which you can see there. We're gonna just power that on. Nice thing about it is, say there's a tree outside and you wanna run your awning out, select the awning here. Once it's lit up, and you can stand out there and make sure it's not gonna hit. Same way with all your slides, your lights, the whole 9 yards. You can obviously do them all from here as well. So you can see here, so the awning lights is gonna be right there. Inside lights here. Now again, every light has a button in the center as well. Okay, so they run the awning in and out. You actually hold the button down, so if you want to run it in, hold the button down, you can stop it. So if it's really windy out and you still want to have it out a little bit, you can run it out partial way. Slide out buttons here, bunk room, living room, bedrooms in there. Water heater here. So this is going to be for gas. The electric's on the water heater like I showed you, bottom left-hand corner. Turn this on. After you've purged the lines, it'll try to light 3 times, then it'll reset. If this isn't lit after the 3rd try, shut it off, wait about 10 seconds, turn it back on, it'll reset. Pumps here, which is again on demand. So if you're running off your freshwater tank, all you got to do is turn this on, leave it on. Now if you hear it running periodically, you probably got a leak somewhere, which is causing it to kick on. Come up here in the master real quick. Does come with a nice residential mattress here. Has a window on that side. This one does come equipped with 2 ACs. TV antenna right there. All you're going to do is rotate that to pick up signal. Has a spot here for a TV connection. Hookups there. There's the washer dryer prep up here in the closet. See that right down there to the right hand side. So it's going to have hot and cold. It's going to have your drain receptacle there. Nice spacious closet. Does have the window at the foot of the bed, which is an emergency escape window. All you're going to do on that is just pull this out and you just push it out all the way. Grab this tab on the screen, rip it out. Okay? We can go out here and check out the bathroom. We'll head down and look at the bunks, and real quick too, the button for the slide out in the master bedroom is right here. It's this little white switch right above the light. So you can see that there, in and out. And this is going to work the same way as the awning. So you just hold the button down. When you want to stop it, you stop it. So you can see here you have a skylight over the tub and shower, which is going to cause some nice light there. To have a vent up top, all you're going to do is just crank this. There's a little button right up here. Just turn the fan on. Okay? Always run that when you're taking a shower and stuff, just to kind of get the steam out of here. GFI receptacle there. This is going to have a foot flush on the toilet. You always just want to make sure you leave a little bit of water down here, because you can see that rubber seal. So if you push the foot pedal down about an inch, that's going to release some water. You push it all the way down, it'll flush it all the way. All right, we'll head down and look at the bunk room here. So it does have the wood look linoleum all the way through the coach, which is very nice. The heat is going to be ducted through the floor. AC is going to be ducted through the ceiling. It does have a ceiling fan. You can see all the ductwork, all the extra cabinetry. Very, very nice coach, very, very popular, and you can see you do have the double entry. Now right here, so this is going to be the switch for your ceiling fan. These are going to be the switches for your ACs, furnaces, and they work just like at home. So you just go through the mode. If you go to cool, you set the temperature and you leave it be. You can see there how it goes through. Obviously, your furnace will run off 12 volt the blower, and its heat's produced with propane. AC, you have to be plugged in to the 50 amp hookup. Or 30 amp, you can just run one AC if you use an adapter. So you can see the bunk side over here. This is on the door side. Underneath this is the outside kitchen. You have the entertainment center here. Plenty of storage space over here. Hanging bar there. All right, now over here on this side, this one is equipped with the Jackknife Sofa. So you just lift up on the bottom, it'll lay flat, and then you have the bunk above. Always recommend traveling with this, again, in the down position. Emergency exit window there. And back here, you're going to see you do have the second full bath, not a half bath, a full bath. And then you're going to have a separate monitor panel right in there. I'll let you take a look. That monitor panel, all you're going to do is hold down on the buttons, and it's going to let you know exactly where the tanks are reading, so that way you know when you need to dump your tanks. So like if I hold down the black, you can see it's reading empty. As it gets fuller, it'll creep up gray, and that's just for this back bathroom. So very, very nice unit. Plenty of floor space back here for the kids to play on a rainy day. Very, very nice. Down here you're going to see you do have your fuse and breaker panel. So 12 volt fuses are here, they're labeled here. 110 breakers are here, they're labeled over here. So if you ever trip one just like at home, just reset it. All right, well, hey, I appreciate your time. Hopefully this was a helpful video for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call at RV Wholesalers. It's 877-877-4494. Thanks a lot.